Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We will start tonight with public hearing number 03, and we have one item, the Land Administrative Bylaw number 897. Amanda Wells, our Land Administrator, is here. Has there been any rulings?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There are just the two rulings, and I believe both of them have called in and are doing a phone conference.
They are, thank you. That's right. So these comments are brought to council for consideration when making a decision, and the second reading of at another city council meeting coming soon. No discussion is permitted from the presentations. After both, oh, there you go. So I'll open the floor to Ed. Do you want to start?
Sure. Well, thank you very much, Mayor, members of the City Council and the administration. Of course, good evening. My colleague, Warren Brown, our Chief Investment Officer, and myself, Ed Romanowski, President and CEO of Unistar Properties, certainly pleased to have this opportunity to present our comments and suggestions concerning the City of Iqaluit Lands Administration Bylaw number 897. Unistar has been active as a developer and owner of residential and commercial properties in Iqaluit for over 50 years. And based on our review of the proposed bylaw and our experience, we're pleased to present our written comments that we submitted on Thursday, September 17th. So overall, we're quite pleased with the proposed bylaw, and we do have comments and suggestions concerning just three sections of the bylaw. The first is concerning Section 41, and here the draft language provides that, in quotation marks, council may authorize the transfer, close quotation marks, of the fee simple title to the leasee under an equity lease if the restriction in Section 14.8 4 of the Nunavut Agreement is subsequently removed. Now, the use of the word may is confusing, as it perhaps suggests that transferring the fee simple title in these circumstances is simply permissive or optional. We suggest that the words, in quotation marks, the city shall transfer, so the city shall transfer, close quotation marks, be used instead. This would be consistent with the city's current wording and contractual obligation to the lessees under the equity leases. Then in Section 44, this section provides for the disposition of a particular parcel, and it shall be a condition of every lease that, other than low-density residential, that construction improvements be commenced and completed by specified dates. So we're suggesting that there be an exception to be included in Section 44 for parcels that are impractical or impossible to develop due to factors such as size, configuration, lack of servicing, or physical circumstances. And an example of this would be simply where you provide, say, vehicle access to an existing lot. Well, of course, there should not be a construction obligation. Now, while the current language of Section 44 does provide for, unless, in quotation marks, unless otherwise specified in the terms of any agreement or negotiations, close quotation marks, we suggest that the words, or in cases where the size, configuration, servicing, or physical circumstances do not permit improvements to be constructed, be added to address parcels for which the improvement construction obligation is clearly not practical or inapplicable. So that would be our suggestion to change Section 44. I'll just hand the presentation over to my colleague Warren Brown to address the third section and complete our presentation. So over to you, Warren.
Thanks, Ed. Our third comment relates to Section 78 of the proposed bylaw. We note that the city has determined that all equity leases, including those entered into prior to bylaw 897 and those to be entered into in the future, will have a term of 99 years. We strongly support this change, as a standardized approach will ensure equitable treatment of all lessees and will substantially reduce the administrative burdens for the city. We note that the proposed bylaw provides that all existing equity leases will be extended upon the date that the current lease expires to reflect the new 99-year term. And we suggest that the bylaw include a mechanism that would allow an existing equity lessee to obtain written extension from the city reflecting the extended term prior to the date that the current lease expires. We, through our experience, know that in dealing with lenders and other interested parties, that they will likely require written confirmation of the extended term. If you require clarification or wish to discuss our comments, please connect with Ed Romanowski or myself, Warren Brown. Again, we wish to thank you for the opportunity to present a summary of our comments to City Council and administration concerning the proposed bylaw 897. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ed and Warren. Moving straight into Lene.
Okay, good evening, Unukut, Kutumai, Amalu, Ichiwatani, Lene Freedom, Northview Apartment REIT. So good evening, council members and Mayor. My name is Lene Frida, Regional Vice President with Northview Apartment REIT. Thank you very much for allowing myself to add some commentary and written submission to the City of Iqaluit for the draft changes to the bylaw with respect to the land administration. First and foremost, I commend City Council and all of the administration for the hard work that's gone into the amendments. I know it's not always easy to amend policy and procedures, and I do commend all of you for the hard work that's gone into this. I, as well, just have some short comments to be made with respect to the draft bylaw that's been presented. The first is with respect to Section 28C, so that would be on page 12 of the draft bylaw, application for land. So under Section 28, with respect to eligibility to put in an application for land, Northview Apartment REIT in Iqaluit, as well as other Nunavut communities, own several duplexes, townhomes, commercial properties within the city that is separately metered for the purpose that existing tenants would be responsible to pay directly for the utilities to the city. The councillors are directly with the individual and the City of Iqaluit. With the draft, the way that it's written under this Section 28C, it is stipulated that existing accounts and other financial charges, if any, owing to the city by the applicant, must be current in order to be eligible to be considered an eligible applicant. Northview would like the city administration to revisit this, as we feel that it would preclude us from submitting an application in order to get these accounts up to date. It can take months with individual holders that are responsible directly with the City of Iqaluit and not with Northview. Under Section 41, as very similar commentary that was made by Unistar with regards to fee simple title. Just looking for some clarification, I guess, the way that this has been written. Our existing equity leases with the City of Iqaluit clearly state that in the event, whether or not that comes to be, I know in 2016 the referendum was voted down, but in the event that under the Article 14 of the Nunavut Land Claims Agreement that transferring fee simple title happens, and that is allowable under the city, we would like to see the wording clarified that fee simple title shall as soon as reasonably possible, be transferred by the city to the leasee. And again, not sure if the clarification is made for existing equity leases that would be allowable to be fee simple title, and then for new leases not, but just looking for some clarification with the way that that has been written. Obviously, on Northview's behalf, a fee simple title is allowable, and the vote occurs and it's favorable, that we would want that to occur. Under Section 44, under other development, again, similar to Minister's commentary, there are occasions where we have parcels of land that would have leases on those that would add to existing developments, that we would not have a construction that would be required or necessary for that parcel of land to, it would be more so as a add-on to an existing development. So I also concur that there should be an exemption clause for circumstances where the land is not, it wouldn't be feasible to develop on that land, nor would it happen. I know in looking at Yellowknight's bylaws for their land administration, they do have a provision for this very occurrence. And then last, or I guess second to last, is the with respect to the Land Development Fund, so Section 62 on page 16. Just wondering, I know in reviewing your previous and your past bylaw 365, it was stipulated in a separate clause, and I may have missed this, and if I did, I apologize, but how the city would be accounting. I know that there will be a special fund, and there is, to account for the fund, but I believe it is omitted in the draft bylaw. So just, I guess the question that's surrounding is what type of accounting will be completed to ensure that control procedures for the management of revenues and expenditures are, or that there's mechanisms in place to control and to account for those funds. And then lastly, Section 78 is the same thing. Northview commends the city for proposing a 99-year equity lease for current leases and extensions on renewals. We would be in the same position. We may have lending requirements and specific banking requirements that may request the city to provide a letter stipulating or an agreement stipulating that that was available just to concur with our mortgage requirements. So I thank you very much for allowing myself to make a statement this evening, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lene. Thank you very much, Ed and Maureen as well. As a matter of procedure, I have to call for any more input, the first call for any more input from the public. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call for a second call for any more input from the public. Seeing none, I'll call for the third and final call for any more input from the public. I now deem this public hearing closed. We will now start with our City of Iqaluit Council meeting number 28. Ed, Lene, Maureen, if you guys want to jump off the line, that's more than fine now.
Well, thank you very much. We really appreciate the opportunity. Good luck.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yes, thanks very much, guys. Have a good evening, and batten down the hatches.
Yes, thank you.
Good night.
Take care. Bye-bye.
There we go. I have one amendment. It's an addition of 7BI, second reading of bylaw number 904, signing authority and expenditure approval bylaw, repeals 539 and 806, and that's an addition. Do you want me to repeat that, Councillor Stevenson? Yeah, we're starting the agenda. Yeah, so we have one addition. What? Yeah, moment of silence. And we can do the addition first. Okay, we'll do the moment of silence right now. Thank you, everybody. Now we have an addition, 7BI, as a bylaw number 904, as a second reading of bylaw number 904, signing authority and expenditure approval bylaw, repeals 539 and 806. The mover is Councillor Kumlik, seconded by Councillor Stevenson. A vote for all in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. 1 minutes, Strategic Planning and Economic Development Committee of the Whole, meeting number 02, minutes dated September 3, 2020. Deputy Mayor Brewster moves. Councillor Stevenson seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, a vote for in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to B, City Council meeting number 26, minutes dated September 8th, 2020. Need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Stevenson moves. Councillor Shepherd seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, a call for in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. C, Planning and Development Committee of the Whole, meeting number 07, minutes dated September 15, 2020. I need a mover and a seconder. Councillor Kumlik moves. Councillor Lucasy seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, vote all in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. D, Special City Council meeting number 27, minutes dated September 15th, 2020. Councillor Shepherd moves. Deputy Mayor seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, a vote for in favor. Unanimous. Thank you. Sorry, Malaya, I didn't hear. Thank you. E, City Council meeting number 23, minutes dated August 11th, 2020. Deputy Mayor moves. Councillor Shepherd seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, a vote in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Declaration of interest. Councillor Stevenson.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. I will repeat, like I did at the Planning and Lands Committee, that in my role at QIA, I'm neither financially remunerated nor a decision maker for either Kikatalo Properties, Inc. or Kikatalo Business Development Corp., and therefore will not be declaring interest when making decisions on those. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Any other declaration of interest? Seeing none, move into councillor statements. Is there any councillor statements? Councillor Kumalik?
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for allowing the city to pay for Inuki's burial. I very much appreciate that it was able to be done through us. Kuya namigara akswaro taman aksawong nakturo maidagin. Kuya gituin na kumayaga mayo tamatiminga naragon na rauma. Kuya namikpag.
Thank you, Councillor Kumalik. May he rest in peace. Are there any other councillor statements tonight? Seeing none, we'll move into the first reading of bylaw number 904, signing authority and expenditure approval bylaw, repeals 539 and 806. Councillor Shepherd moves. Councillor Awa seconds. A vote, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Moving to 7BI, by second reading of bylaw number 904, signing authority and expenditure approval bylaw, repeals 539 and 806. Councillor Shepherd moves. Deputy Mayor seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Councillor Kumlik?
I'm just wondering if we can do third reading on it.
We can't tonight because Councillor Flaherty isn't here tonight. Councillor Stevenson?
Thank you, Mayor Bell. I spent an hour reading this afternoon, and it is. I think it's a very good bylaw. I'm wondering who wrote it and who proofread it first. Like who verified all. It's very detail intensive, so I'm just wondering who wrote it and who proofread it.
Go ahead, Amy.
Hi. I worked with the city's legal counsel on it, and so Teresa, as well as Ed, was involved, as he's very knowledgeable of the CTV Act and Northern jurisdictional issues. So that's essentially who wrote it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Moving into committee reports. Planning and Development Committee of the Whole report, September 15, 2020. Councillor Kumlik, Chair of the Planning Committee, please go ahead.
Thank you. Do you really want me to? Anyway, thanks, Council, Mayor, staff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 recommendations. The committee met on September 15th. The first recommendation to the Council, PD 2042. Committee recommends to Council to approve one development permit DP 19040 to allow the development of fourplex dwelling units totaling 16 units with overall gross floor area of 1,405 meters squared. Subject to the city standards conditions, the special conditions in attachment 3 as shown on plans in attachment 5. 2. A variance to section 6.9 of zoning bylaw 704 to remove the requirement of landscape strip along the lot line adjacent to the street. And 3. A variance to section 13.4 of zoning bylaw 704 to reduce the dwelling unit area minimum from 75 meters squared to 68 meters squared. And 4. A variance to section 13.9 of zoning bylaw 704 to reduce the lot area minimum from 200 meters squared per unit to 185 meters squared per unit. 5. A variance to section 4.22 of zoning bylaw 704 to permit a projection from the deck ramp to 0 meters from lot line, whereas the bylaw requires 0.5 meters minimum setback. And 6. Survey sketch SK 2005 to allow for reconfiguration of lots 394, 395, 396, 397, 398, and 399 on plan 768 into 4 separate lots, one for each fourplex that meets zoning provisions and building setbacks.
Deputy Mayor moves. Councillor Stevenson seconds. Comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumalik?
PD 2043. Committee recommends that Council approve one development permit application DP 19056 to permit the construction of utility installation in accordance with special conditions in Attachment 2, standard conditions in Attachment 3, and as shown in the submitted plans in Attachment 4, 5, and 6. 2. Variance application in accordance with the special conditions in Attachment 3 to permit a utility installation with the power rating of 100 kilowatt, whereas Section 3 of Zoning Bylaw 704 defines a small-scale renewable energy source as having power rating of less than 15 kilowatt.
Councillor Awa moves. Councillor Lucasy seconds. I got confused because normally Councillor Kumalik always says, and I so move. So I've been...
Okay.
But that's okay. No, that's fine. A call for a vote. Any comments, questions, concerns to that motion? Seeing none. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Councillor Kumalik?
Thank you, sir. PD 2044. The committee recommends that Council 1 give first reading to bylaw number 903 to rezone lot 941, plan 3596, and lot 81 on plan 674, 2 lots from central business zone height 13 meters B1 13 to district commercial special exemption Zone 5B2 5 in order to permit the proposed dental clinic a reduction of minimum lot frontage and a reduction of the front yard setback, and to permit the ramp to project to 0 meters to lot line. I shall move. Sorry.
Yeah, there's still number 2 there.
Number 2, approve development permit application DP 2011 to permit dental clinic on the ground floor with the 2 floors of dwelling units totaling 10 dwelling units and 8 parking spaces, subject to the standards conditions, the special conditions of approval of Attachment 3, and as shown on drawings included in Attachment 4. I move.
Thank you, Councillor Kumalik. A seconder, Councillor Lucasy. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, call for a vote in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumalik.
PD 45. The committee recommends that Council approve a variance application to permit a relaxation to Section 4.1C of Zoning Bylaw 704 to permit an increase in the maximum gross floor area for accessory building located in the front yard from 12 meters squared to 20 meters squared. 2. Development permit application DP 2030 to permit a 20 meters squared accessory building in accordance with the standard conditions of approval in Attachment 2 and as shown on the drawings filed with the application for the development permit DP 2030. I move.
Councillor Stevenson seconds. Thank you, Councillor Kumalik. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Councillor Kumalik, go ahead.
Thank you. PD 2046. The committee recommends that Council approve development permit 2034 in order to amend development permit DP 19044 and permit the proposed changes to parking and landscaping, namely the increase in parking spaces provided and the addition of signage and other landscape components, and in accordance with the special conditions of approval in Attachment 3, standard conditions of approval in Attachment 4, and as shown in Site Plan A101 and Landscape Plan A102 in Attachment 5. I move.
Councillor Shepherd seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumalik.
Thank you. PD 2047. Committee recommends that the Council 1. Give first reading to General Plan Amendment Bylaw Number 901 to amend Policy 7.5.4 of General Plan 703 to include the addition of rural dwelling to the list of limited developments approved by Council in areas serviced by truck services. 2. Give first reading to Zoning Bylaw Amendment Bylaw Number 902, rezone Lot 11, Block 6, Plan 4400 from Neighborhood Commercial B3 to medium density residential R2. And 3. Direct staff to hold a public meeting to be held after first reading and prior to the second reading of Bylaw Number 901 and Bylaw Number 902. I move.
Can I just make one small correction that it's a hearing, not a meeting? I'm not sure if there needs to be that correction, but just in case. Fine. He said meeting, but it suggests hearing here, and I just want to make sure that we don't have to have a meeting at a different location, and we just use the public hearing like we normally do. And you're okay with that?
Yes.
Thank you, Councillor Kumalik. Seconded by Deputy Mayor Brewster. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumalik, go ahead.
2048. Committee recommends that Council approve 1. Development permit application DP 20037 for Lot 3, Block 2, Plan 1986 Apex to permit a change of use from duplex to semi-detached. 2. A variance to Section 9.6 of Zoning Bylaw 704 to reduce the required interior side yard setback from 3 meters to 2.43 meters in accordance with the submission of the site plan drawing and floor plans drawing received by the city on August 14th, 2020. I move.
Councillor Awa seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumalik.
PD 2049. Committee recommends that the Council approve survey sketch application SK 2004 in accordance with the survey sketch in Attachment 2 and special conditions in Attachment 3 to resurvey Lot 1, 2, and 3 on Block 46, Plan 2722. I move.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Brewster seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I call for a vote in favor. Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumlik.
PD 50. Committee recommends that Council approve 1. Development permit application DP 20038 in order to permit the construction of the proposed utility installation with power rating of 300 kilowatt in accordance with the special conditions of approval in Attachment 2, the standard conditions of approval in Attachment 3, and site plan and detailed drawings in Attachment 4 dated August 11th, 2020, and 2. A variance to permit a utility installation with the power rating of 300 kilowatt on Lot 3, Block 57, Plan 2757 in core area. I move.
Councillor Stevenson seconds. Questions, comments, concerns to the motion? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor? Unanimous again. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Kumlik.
Thank you. PD 51. Committee recommends that
Point of
council.
order. Why would we be reading a defeated motion? It wasn't a recommendation to this council. It says defeated. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong one. I'm looking at the bottoms, not the tops.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, sir.
No worries. Continue on, Councillor Kumlik.
Thank you. PD 51. Committee recommends that council approve survey sketch application SK 20006 to resurvey plan 184 group 1087 RIM 1 in accordance with the attachment 2 and special conditions in attachment 3. I move.
Councillor Stevenson seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns? I hope this thing doesn't pick up my laughs all the time. No comments, questions. A call for a vote in favor. And against? Councillor Awa, how do you vote?
I vote.
In favor? Okay. And unanimous vote in favor. Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Kumlik.
PD 52. PD 2052, sorry. Committee.
We're gonna skip that one and go right into the next one. Sorry, 53.
Okay.
Because that one was defeated.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Last but not least, PD 2053. Committee recommends that council direct staff to begin the process of fully revising the general plan and zoning bylaw, including fulsome public consultations. I move.
Deputy Mayor Brewster seconds. Any comments, questions, concerns to that motion? Seeing none, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Councillor Kumlik. You did all the work tonight. Thank you. Moving into correspondence. Canadian Society of Respiratory Therapists proclamation request. Everyone should have that in front of them. Looking for a motion, or we are letting it die on the floor. Deputy Mayor Brewster.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. Given the state of the world right now, I'm very happy to support the request for recognition of respiratory therapists during Respiratory Therapy Week from October 25th to the 31st, 2020. Thank you.
You move.
I so move.
Councillor Shepherd seconds. Comments, questions, concerns? Councillor Kumlik, Councillor Natak, please go ahead.
Solo ukiotattamana ajingem tipuna numrangilautara 54 niglesiunarsiungrang matessamane solo alamnam pitjengin niglesiurartillu tamana silartuavat ilanga akkurrunilu ilanga naammattiarsuni imaittimbataana tukisumayautiaruyaqa taikkununga anersartu kia kuiyunut solo ajinginginiganik taana sila taimelaqtuinnerta.
Thank you, Councillor Natak. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote in favor. Unanimous. Motion to adjourn. Councillor Shepherd Seconded by Councilor Lucasy. All in favor? Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrew, and thank you to the city staff, and especially thank you to Councilor Kumalik with that huge thing.